podcast with Amanda, Shandy, and Colleen. My name is Colleen.
My name is Amanda.
And I'm Shandy.
Welcome to the show, everyone. This is season 8, episode 41, episode number 356. Taking us back in time. How's it going?
Pretty good.
Good, yeah.
Yeah? Awesome. This is our post-Memorial Day episode as we are recording this. Memorial Day was yesterday.
Indeed.
I feel like I lived a million lives since we last recorded.
Yeah. I left the country.
Yeah.
You did leave the country. You have to tell us all about your trip.
It was great. But I went to a country that doesn't stamp passports, so I don't have the stamp to prove that I went anywhere. So that was a little disappointing because it's a new, I got my passport renewed last year. So it's like a brand new passport. So it's like got the sweet virgin paper, and I was looking forward to, stamping her good.
Oh man, that is, first of all, kind of nuts that they don't stamp passports.
I know, right? They just look at them barely.
And number two, I'm so sorry, you just have to go to another country.
Yeah. Apparently, this is like a trend that not all countries are stamping passports anymore. I don't know if this has happened to anyone else. Tell me. But yeah, cool. Bearing the lead.
Yes. Yeah, so where were you?
I was in Barbados for a couple of days with some college friends. We do like a weekend getaway every summer for the past 10-11 years, and it's like each couple we take turns planning for the next year. And so a few years ago we decided that when we got through the rotation of every couple has planned a weekend, we'll do a bigger trip. So this was the first ever of what I hope will be more bigger trips.
Yeah.
It was really fun. Barbados is a place I had never been. We did an all-inclusive resort, which was good for a group that size, but I don't know if I am an all-inclusive resort kind of traveler.
Why not? Ooh.
I think it's just not my personal vibe. I like to get out and explore and get a feel for the country. And I feel like if you just stay on the resort, which is wonderful and beautiful and very relaxing, you could be
anywhere.
You could be anywhere.
Yeah.
So
you could be at home.
Right. So thankfully we did some trips off campus. So I do feel like I got a sense of what the island is actually like. Otherwise I would have just been I didn't go to Barbados. I went to a Sandals. So thankfully I feel like I can say I've been to Barbados, and enough to know I would like to go back.
Yeah. What excursions did you do?
We did some snorkeling, and I got to see 3 sea turtles, which was a big deal for me. I have never seen a sea turtle in the wild up until this trip, and I've been to lots of sea turtle inhabited places. When I was in Hawaii, we went to the black sand beaches where they're supposed to hang out, and the day my aunt took me was the first time she had ever been there, and there hadn't been turtles. We were in Oahu, and I was paddleboarding, and someone comes by and oh, there was a turtle just over there. Last summer in Turks and Caicos, everybody else saw turtles. I didn't see turtles. I thought I was doomed to never see a turtle. So this was my real mission. And we got to see a whole bunch, got to see them kind of come up to the surface to pop their adorable little head out of the water to breathe air and go back down. So it was it was worth the wait.
Good.
So we did that. We went to Barbados has this really amazing natural cave system called Harrison Cave. So we went, we checked that out, and that was really pretty amazing.
That sounds cool.
And we did a fish fry, but we went on a Saturday, so it was mostly locals and less touristy, and got to sort of roam around and eat amazing Bajan food, and so that was really cool.
That is awesome.
Nice.
Yeah. And otherwise I drank too many fruity drinks and spent a lot of time in water, which what a treat. And I didn't get sunburned. So I feel like this was a win-win all around.
It's that. See, I love all inclusive. I love all inclusive because we always make sure, even when I was growing up, and I don't know, I mean, I couldn't drink back then, so I don't know if they were all inclusive, but like we would stay on the resorts, and then we would do like the day trips that they would offer.
Yeah. Well, I do hear that like all inclusives are really good for family travel too, because probably for all the same reasons for a large group, like it just takes out some of the complicating factors of like settling a big bill when there's like a large amount of people, and like it does make certain things easier.
Does that mean there was 20 of you there? If it took 10 years,
there were 18
How many?
of us. There's 18 of us.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
It's a big
That's
group.
pretty awesome.
So did you all, logistically, like, did you all go down to like meals at the same time, or?
Not for dinners. Yes. We actually, we worked with a travel agent, and I think because we were such a large group, like usually the resort was like weird about reservations, but I think they realized that like for a group that size, it was just going to be easier to like give us dinner reservations every night, which was good, but it was also like kind of a mixed bag. Like, we would have the reservation, but then like you'd still have to wait, or like the food would take a long time to like come out. And, but I think it certainly was easier. And like they would, we were always like split up between 2 tables, but at least we were all able to be like in the same restaurant at the same time. And then the rest of the day, it was just kind of like, we all had like a WhatsApp group, and it was like, hey, like, I'm going down to this place for breakfast if anyone wants to join. And then like someone would be like, oh yeah, we're almost ready to go down too. We'll meet you. So it's like everyone kind of just moved around. And
nice.
But it worked really well, So
that's awesome.
Hopefully we will do more, because I feel like it's a real treat as like an adult with kids, like everyone was just like, everyone's leaving your kids at home. Like we're doing this. And like, it felt like a very special thing.
It's so amazing that everyone makes time for that every year. I love that.
Yeah.
Can you remind me, because I know we've talked about your trips before, but I can't remember. Like, so when it's just like the weekend stuff, what are some of the ones that you guys have done? I'm assuming it's like not as far, and maybe everyone's sort of in the Northeast-ish, because that's like a lot of travel.
Yeah. So it used to be, so when this was originally conceived as, back when we were all in our late 20s, life was decidedly different. So it was sort of New York City centric. So it was always within driving distance from New York City. So like the first couple of years, we really went all over. We did one. The first trip was to Philadelphia. Then we did the Jersey Shore, the Catskills. Our year we did Mystic and like that part of Connecticut. And then as people started to move out of the city, and like one couple moved to Ohio, one couple moved down to DC, it sort of has pushed us west. So the past, I would say maybe 6-7 years have all been in parts of Pennsylvania, like the Poconos area.
Nice.
Cool.
So we're all getting a little sick of the Poconos, but it's also like the most realistic for like all parties, as we've sort of scattered a bit.
Yeah.
So that's why I think also like this trip came at a good time. It was sort of like a test of like, oh, like this is fun. So maybe like we do start, instead of waiting another 10 years to do a bigger trip, maybe we like do one of these like every 5 years. And like,
yeah.
So we'll sort of see how it unfolds as we enter this next leg of adulthood in our lives. But I think, we all often, reflect on how special it is that like, everyone always makes time for it. A lot of these people aren't people that aren't like day-to-day friends. Like they aren't people I talk to a ton, but it's just like you get the group together and everybody just kind of picks up and
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty wonderful. And I'm very, I feel very lucky that we get to do it.
Nice. Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. And I would say Daniel's also lucky that he married into this, because that's like sweet situation to walk into.
That's true. That's true. And like, and generally speaking, that like there isn't really like a bad spouse in the bunch. Like everybody just sort of, the spouses got added in over the past, decade, and hasn't really changed the group dynamic all that much. So it's it's good,
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah,
I'm glad you had fun.
I did have fun. Thank you.
You had a rough couple months, so it was good to. Yeah, glad.
Yeah, it was very much like, just get us to this trip. Get us to this trip. Don't let anything else go wrong. Just get us on the plane, get us there safely, and get us home safely.
Yeah.
Check
awesome.
and check.
Yeah, so it's good. It was definitely a reset I very much needed.
Nice.
Good. I'm glad.
Yeah.
I'm very happy for you.
Thank you.
Shandy, you went to Hot Springs?
I did, yeah. Which was really fun because, as we've talked about on the podcast before, we went a couple of times last year, and we had like scouted out like there's these like really cool like camping spots right next to the river. So this year in January, we're like, we should like plan some trips for spring/beginning of summer. And this is one of the ones that we reserved back in January. And so we had our pick of the camping spots. And it was a great spot. I saw on the last day, what I think is the same kind of spider that stung me last year.
Oh my God, I forgot all about that.
Yeah, I did not.
Yeah, I would imagine so.
So yeah, I think it was the same kind, and we like tried to grab our phone to take a picture to then like try to identify it, but we didn't. Like by the time we got the phone, that it was God knows where it was. So I was just very careful, and that was like literally as we were like packing up the tent. But we had a good time. It was fun. We did some great hiking. We were on the Blue Ridge Parkway at one point, like coming back from a hike, and we saw a black bear.
Wow.
And I realized it's my first East Coast bear. So
that's a big deal.
Yeah.
Wow. I've never
my
seen
whole
a
life
bear
on the East Coast, and I've never seen a bear.
Yeah.
It was like right up on it was on like the railing, like thinking about crossing the street, and I hope that it just turned away and went back.
Yeah.
Jesus, I saw two black snakes on the street in my neighborhood today and was proud that I didn't run them over. God, I thought I had an exciting day.
Nice. We actually we saw a snake also, and I took a picture and I tried to identify it on Seek, but it couldn't. I was going to send it to you, Colleen.
I think I saw that when I was. Hold on.
Yeah, I saw it on your Instagram, and
on my Instagram. Yeah, like it could be like a garter snake, or it could be. I just really can't.
That was not a garter. That was not a garter snake. That was also, big ass snake.
Don't be okay. So the size also, like, there's no context in the picture because it's kind of like a close up. So it wasn't that big.
Yeah, like
I don't know.
Yeah,
but I did see it. Yeah, like the one that I saw in my backyard.
I'm still shook. I'm gonna lift my legs off the ground just in case.
It was like at our campsite, but then it slithered away. Like I took a picture and we like kind of got like cautiously, not close, but like and that was enough for it to be like, peace, I'm out. I was like, sweet, I can live with that. Trying to think what else. We also saw some wild turkeys also on the road. And that we had to, like, seriously, they were in the middle of the road, would not get off the road, and we're like trying to encourage them to like
get off
anywhere else, to be anywhere else.
Yes, we saw 2 marmots on the road also, which like I didn't realize that there's, or maybe that's not what they're called here, like a ground, like a big ground, like a yeah. I'll look it up. My initial thought was, oh, that's a marmot. But it's true that I've mostly seen marmots in the mountains. Although we were in the mountains, so maybe that makes sense. I don't know. Anyway, just like a very
like
big
a groundhog. Sorry, just to return back to the marmot.
Maybe it's a groundhog.
Okay,
I don't know.
Shandy, it is. I don't know. I'm looking at a list of snakes in that area, and it does kind of look like a brown snake to me,
which is
not poisonous.
Excellent.
But I'm looking to see. I'll keep talking though. I'm looking to see if because I know that they have the rattlesnakes out there. It
was definitely not a rattlesnake.
Okay. Oh, yeah, I think you would have known if you came across a rattlesnake.
We did. We saw so on the second hike we went on, we saw some people who were section hiking on the Appalachian Trail. That was cool. The second hike that we went on was like a little, very small like chunk of the Appalachian Trail, which is always just like cool to be on.
Yeah, that is awesome.
We went to one of the shelters that was like our turnaround point, and there was this two people, so I guess couple, but they looked like twin sisters, like our age or older, and they were section hiking, which was super cool. And they said that they had seen.
Okay, sorry.
So what exactly does section hiking mean? I feel like I can piece
when you're
together
hiking
what it is.
Different sections of the Appalachian Trail because you want to complete the whole thing, but you
like
don't
not the whole through,
do the whole thing at the same time.
So they were doing
sections.
They were on like a 2-week trip. So just like a chunk of it. Like I consider, like we were day hiking, so we were just like,
And they saw a timber rattlesnake.
They saw a rattlesnake, like right in the trail. They almost stepped on it. And they had a close encounter with a bear. I don't know if that was the same bear earlier. Yeah, it's like, ooh, okay. Let's see. I'm trying to see what other. There was another creature that we saw that was just like.
Yeah, this is definitely not the rattlesnake.
Sorry. Yeah, no, and
I know you know that.
It looked inoffensive to me, but then who knows? It was funny because the people that those two, I'm gonna say sisters, they really looked like identical twin sisters. They were saying that they're from Maine, so they're not used to like any sort of like venomous snakes. And I was like, oh, welcome to North Carolina. Okay, what else did I see? And okay, when we packed up the tent, underneath it, and this must have come from the ground, because it was not there when we put up the tent. Took a picture and identified it on Seek as an Eastern Dobson fly.
Whoa,
it is the thing of nightmares.
That's your spider.
No, that was
just a bug.
Okay, we're on a different bug. Okay.
Yeah, just like
I'm gonna close the pictures of the snakes. Sorry.
I can send you a picture of it if you want, but it's so fucking gross. And it's pretty big. It's like I want to say like
we'll send it now.
Inches long.
Yeah, no, now I need to.
Now the people need to hear our responses, our reactions to it.
Okay, so you might have to. It's a live photo, and you might have to click on it to see it move because it looks like the ground. But it's like
yeah, Shandy, I'm pretty sure this is just a brown snake.
Okay, that feels good. But this little Dobson fly.
Oh my god, is that a dinosaur?
Right? It looks.
Oh my
like
goodness!
From like and imagine it's like 2 to 3 inches long. Okay, this thing is huge. I saw 2 when we pulled up our tent.
Whoa! Look at that thing move.
This looks like something that would like cause a virus in the X-Files.
Yeah, that doesn't look of this world. Does not look of this world.
We bought like earlier this year. We bought like the footprint that goes with the tent to like place the tent on. Because we didn't get it last year, because we were like, do we really need that? And then we ended up getting it. It's like,
now you're glad.
I'm okay. Got it. Great. Just like a tiny little layer.
Able to feel that under your head.
Oh, Shandy, I'm an idiot. This is a water snake because you can see the tornado patterns.
Oh,
well,
that makes sense because we were literally right next to the river.
Yes.
Oh my God, does that mean it's in the river?
What, the water?
Those kind of snakes?
Yeah.
Did you go swimming?
Yes, and because of the spring runoff, the river is brown right now. You cannot see in there.
Oh, big mistake.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
No.
I'm sure it's fine.
No, too many snakes. I would not be in a body of water. I couldn't see the bottom.
Okay, but it's okay. So you know how you can tell? So the other ones, the cottonmouths, copperheads, the copperheads have Hershey Kiss patterns and they're like a little more distinct generally. But the water snakes have similar patterns like that, except it's inverse. And you look for the tornado pattern or the hourglass pattern. See how that has like a hourglassy pattern on the top and the tornado, like it's a down shaping thing. That's how you know it's a water snake, not a copperhead. Hershey is bad. Tornado is good.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can tell the difference between a Hershey Kiss and a tornado.
Right. You know, it took me a while too. But then I came across a water snake while I was hiking on the Greenway about a month ago. And I was like, oh, that's a water snake. I don't have to be afraid.
Okay. I'm going to tell Frank that this was a water snake. And he's going to be happy that we didn't end up going swimming the second time that we were talking about it. I mean, everyone was in the river. People were
I'm sure they're not going to be there. they're scared of us, so they're not going to be there.
Exactly.
They're going to be on the rocks.
I do prefer to see into.
Yes. Okay. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. So bug that's carrying the apocalypse virus.
Yes. Jurassic bug, water snake, wild turkey, a bear. I mean, the bear was the highlight. I'm trying to think. There's something else. Oh, the marmots. Yeah. Or whatever.
Now, see, those are cute. I feel like I could get behind that.
They were cute, but they were also on the road. It's like, get the fuck, you're gonna get smushed. Oh, they did get off the road. So yeah. It was a good. Oh, fireflies. That's the other thing we saw.
Oh yeah, the fireflies are out.
That was pretty cool.
That's awesome. Did you see them while you were like in the dark? Obviously, when you see them.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean.
Yes. Yeah. No,
I haven't seen them yet, but my dad came inside the other night and was like, I can't believe you have fireflies already.
Huh. So yeah, we were not too far away from you guys.
Yeah. So we went to Chimney Rock.
Fun.
It was awesome. Our intentions were to leave on Friday midday so we could get there in time for dinner. And then we found out there was field day that day. So we didn't leave until 4th. By the time, I don't know, and then we picked the kids up early, and then by the time we got back home, we didn't end up leaving. Then they, whatever, we didn't pack, blah, 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 blah. We ended up leaving at like 4:00 in the afternoon. We got there too late to eat, but that's fine. We had the whole day on Saturday. We climbed the stairs to get to Chimney Rock. So essentially it's Amanda, it's like one mountain, and then it has a bunch of different trails, and none of them are too strenuous. Like the deal with this state park is there are like 200 stairs that take you up to the first lookout, which is the Chimney Rock point.
Mm-hmm.
And then
but you could also ride an elevator.
Which we first thought of doing, and then the wait was like 35 minutes, and we were like, you know what, we can do this.
Yeah.
But it was cool because the tunnel like that takes you to the elevator is made up of rocks that are dated from before the dinosaurs.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, it is
my
really cool.
bug was hanging out with them then.
Yeah, your bug came from there.
Yeah,
it's just been walking this whole time.
Oh God.
It took 70 million years.
So
yeah, it was cool. So and then so we did that first thing, and then I thought the second set of stairs was harder, which takes you to the next lookout point, and then there's a trail that goes along the top of the mountain called the Skyline Trail, and you see different viewpoints like throughout there, and it ends it's an out and back trail, and it ends at the top of the waterfall, and then there's a trail on the very bottom of the state park that takes you to the bottom of the waterfall, and that's like a big thing. So we did all of that. We did all of it. But coming down the stairs is what killed me, because I walk on hills in my neighborhood like all the time on purpose. And obviously like I do Pure Barre, but like, we do a lot of stuff on our tippy toes too. So I thought I was going to be fine. After we came down all of the stairs and we were standing there, my legs were just shaking. Like my calves were just shaking as I'm standing there. And I'm still sore today. It hurts so bad. So anyway, so we did that. It was gorgeous, gorgeous views. Okay, so here's my story, I guess. So we went to the waterfall last before we hiked back to the car. And the waterfall is awesome. Shandy's been there. Like, it's super cool. You can you can stand like underneath it and like take pictures, or just like, go like this and be under it, which was perfect because we were so tired and hot that we were like,
we couldn't get quite that close when we went.
Oh, really?
Due to weather. Yeah. So like we couldn't do the trail on top because of snow, and then the Skyline Trail, and then we hiked to the waterfall, but there was like a barrier that you couldn't go past to get like right up next to it, because I think there was still like ice and stuff.
That makes sense. They had all these signs up there about the different snakes in the area, which was the rattlesnake, the a queen snake, a black snake, and I forget what the other one was, but the rattlesnake was the only. Oh, maybe there was a copperhead there, maybe. So anyway, we're there and we start to walk back up to like out of the water, and we notice that there is this dude who is walking towards the edge of the waterfall, and you're not supposed to walk towards the edge of the waterfall. He's like, everybody stops to look. The fucking 2 park rangers that are there, and I'm presuming they're there, their job is to tell people not to be dumbasses that walk towards the edge. They're talking to people. They're not noticing at all.
Oh no.
So this jackass went out, lumbered towards the rocks because he saw a fucking queen snake, like just chilling on the thing. And I'm like, I say to Jay, I was like, does he think he's going to catch the snakes? Like, their thing is they slither away fast. They don't, like,
also don't touch the wildlife.
Yes. So that guy was making me nervous because he kept getting closer and closer to the edge. And I was like, this motherfucker is going to go over. Like, that's it. I'm going to watch somebody die. This is awful. And so finally I said something really loudly, and I'm sure other people were saying it too, but I was like, oh my God, this guy's making me so nervous. What is he doing out there? Then the park rangers came over and were like, you got to get back. You got to get back. And I said something to him at the end. I was like, yeah, that guy was trying to catch a snake, which is so stupid. And he was like, yeah, well, the snakes sun on those rocks all the time. That's why we don't let people get close to there. I'm like, oh, that makes sense. Because I'd even said to Jay, I was like, this is like a snake's like freaking resort over here. They got water, rocks, annoying people.
Oh my God.
Anyway.
People are always the worst part of any of those kinds of places.
Yeah.
Truly. Anyway, yeah. It was good though. It was good. Then we walked around town. So we were so tired. We were ready to go to bed like as soon as we got back. But the tricky thing was it was only like 4 o'clock.
Did you guys go to the brewery?
No, we went to the barbecue place and it was awesome.
Nice.
It was super delicious. Yeah, no, so we just, wandered aimlessly trying to stay awake that night. We stayed in town at a little bed and breakfast called the Broad River Inn. It was awesome. I was kind of nervous. Like, I was like, oh my God, it's going to be like old or cheesy or whatever. No, it was really cool. There was only 9 rooms. The people were friendly. The food was good. It was really great. So, and because I booked it 2 weeks ago, there were only 2 rooms left. One that was a queen size bed that clearly didn't look very upgraded. And then it was the king suite, and I was like, I guess we're living it up this weekend because I'm looking at the pictures of the shower in this room and I don't want to go there. So yeah, I made the right call though. We had a huge balcony that overlooked the river and was like direct line of sight to Chimney Rock Mountain. So we were able to see our room from the top of the mountain.
Oh, that's cool.
It was cool. Yeah, and then we had a little living room area and big bedroom, so it was good. It worked out well because I don't think I would have chosen that room if it wasn't like one of 2 left.
Yeah,
it was great. So that was that. We did the flowering bridge. Did you do that, Shandy?
Yeah, that was really close to where we stayed.
Where'd you guys stay?
Like really, really close in this cabin that's like a 2-second walk from the flowering bridge.
Oh, cool. Okay,
but you have to know, like, it's not. Yeah,
right. Amanda, the flowering bridge is like this bridge where they built like gardens like on it, and like the theme is like storybook characters and whatnot.
Beautiful.
And it's just,
that sounds so cool.
It's beautiful. They also like underneath the part of the bridge that the cars go on, they built a rainbow bridge, and people had placed their like pets collars.
Oh my God, yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And then they had a free little library for dog stuff in that area too. It was cool. So
not like a true library in the sense it was like books for dogs, but like,
no, I forget what was in it, but it was like stuff for dogs that people like.
It's more like a pantry.
No, they called it the free little library though. Like they called it that.
Interesting.
Yeah, like it was just it was cool. It was really neat. Yeah. So that was my trip. Almost
sounds lovely.
Jackass go over a waterfall for a snake that he was never going to catch.
Yeah. And should never have been trying to.
No,
exactly.
God, it
not as
didn't
exciting
hinder
as a
your good
bear.
time, though.
Well, yeah.
Glad it didn't hinder your good time too much.
No, it didn't at all, thankfully. Because, I didn't see somebody die. So,
well, that's always a plus when traveling.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that was great. So, yeah, we're trying to look at places that we can go next. I didn't realize that there's a state park that's only like 2 hours from here, and it's called Hanging Rock State Park.
Oh, that's supposed to be great.
Yeah, that's what we heard. Jay's coworkers went there, or one of his coworkers went there this weekend. And we were like, oh, that could like feasibly be a day trip.
Mm-hmm.
It's only 2 hours. So
Yeah.
we'll see. Anyway, yeah. You guys have heard about the man and the man or the bear
yes.
debate online, right? I was just thinking about that.
No, I have
choose the bear.
Shandy, do you want to explain that while
Please
I'm looking
do.
for something? Do you know what the whole thing is about? Okay.
Yeah, I can't remember like exactly. Was it like a study or they? Anyway, basically.
No, this lady just asked it on TikTok, I thought.
Oh, okay. It was a TikTok thing. Like
that went viral.
Asking women, would you rather be like alone in the woods and come across a bear or a human man? And overwhelmingly, women chose the bear. And so it sparked conversations, and sometimes people completely missed the point, but yeah.
And they were usually men.
Yes, they were usually men. And
what a shocker that is.
Right. And then they continued to make the point for us.
Yes. So now, man, if you see anybody online say, this is why I picked the bear, or I choose the bear, that's what that refers to is... because I guess they asked like 9 women or 7 women or something, but only one person chose a strange man. Everybody else picked the bear.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
I mean, honestly, like usually, like when I'm not that I really ever hike by myself, and that's like the main reason why. But if I'm ever like by myself in a place or ostensibly hiking, I am definitely more concerned about running into a strange dude than a bear.
Yeah.
I think just generally speaking in life.
Yes. Yes.
So I carry a Swiss Army knife, and I gotta get new mace, pepper spray.
Yeah, I was gonna say or bear spray, then it works for both.
Bear spray, and then you're taking care of with everything.
Done.
Exactly. Bear spray's big though, so
yeah. So real quick, I had found there was a couple of Ask Reddits. It's been a while since we did them, and I'll let you guys pick. So you tell me what you're interested in hearing. What is a life hack did we do this one? What is a life hack that seems fake but is a real lifesaver?
I think so.
We did.
Did we do that one?
I can't remember any of the actual life hacks that we talk about, but I do remember the premise.
I do remember it being a very enjoyable conversation.
Okay, I don't think we've done this particular one, but we have done life hacks because these sound fake but are real. But okay, let me that one. What's the craziest way you found out you were being cheated on? That one I had pulled a while ago, but that one might be longer. Oh, the last one we did was what's a juicy industry secret that you know? That's the last one we did.
I also don't remember any of the industry secrets, but I remember the title.
I do too. I was like, oh, did we do that one, or did we just talk about doing that one?
We did that one. All right, here's 4. You guys pick which one you want. We're not going to do the cheating one this week because that one has some good ones that might take longer. Okay. So, what's a fact that you only recently learned but should have known for ages? Which movies are really sad when told from the villain's perspective?
That sounds fun.
Yeah.
What's a life hack that seems fake but is a lifesaver?
Oh, those are all good.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess the middle one got the biggest reaction, so maybe we should go with that.
Agreed.
Okay. All right. Which movies are really sad when told from the villain's perspective? It's okay, old girl. If I disappear, my computer died. Okay. All right. The first one is funny. Mrs. Doubtfire, because imagine how scared Pierce Brosnan was when Mrs. Doubtfire tried to kill him with pepper. Classic night, and then somebody commented, classic 90s trope where the new partner is actually a lovely person whose life gets destroyed so the exes can get back together. Yes, I did do that, Mrs. Doubtfire. But yeah, that is true. I've thought about that before, like how that, thing.
That was like a real thing.
The next one is Baby's father in Dirty Dancing. Dude just wants to have a nice family vacation.
But he's not really the villain in that movie.
He's the antagonist, I suppose, in a way, right?
Is he though?
In a way.
In a way.
Because at first, he doesn't like Patrick Swayze until the very end. When he makes a mistake, he admits it.
He admits it.
Or when he's wrong, he says he's wrong. That's what he says.
I recently rewatched The Little Mermaid. Oh, by the way, Dirty Dancing was filmed at Lake Lure, which is the lake that Chimney Rock is on.
Really?
It was, yeah.
I do remember that it was filmed in North Carolina, posing as the Catskills.
Oh my god, I had no idea. I love that.
Yep.
Because the weather is warmer, so it's like they could. It was easier to shoot there.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Wow.
All right, these are all boring. Let's just scrap this. Yeah, all right, forget it. Fuck these. Sorry, guys.
Oh, bummer.
Okay.
All
right, I'll make it. I'll make do.
Such potential.
No.
All right. I'll make do with a couple more. It's gonna take me. I gotta have to scroll a little bit. This next one piggybacks off the dad thing and says, I recently rewatched Little Mermaid, and well, let's say I was rooting for her father rather than the 16-year-old wanting to elope with a person she saw for like a minute.
Good. That's a good
That
point.
said, Triton doesn't really handle the situation well.
No.
Yeah, he's not a very present father. But then sometimes too present. It's like he can't strike that balance.
Yeah.
He had a lot of daughters to watch and a kingdom.
True.
True. He's busy.
Then let's see. Jaws. Bruce is just trying to be a shark, man.
That's fair enough.
Yep.
The Land Before Time. That T-Rex just needed to eat.
Oh. Ouch.
Talk about a good movie. Oh, like the music.
This next one is the Sound of Music. Not the Nazis, obviously, but the Baroness.
Oh, yeah.
Imagine you're a wealthy, savvy, child-free woman, open-minded enough to date a sulking widower with 1 billion children he ignores in favor of travel and partying. In other words, your lifestyle. You're not into kids, but you try to be a presence in their life. When he finally deigns to introduce you to them, at the same time he announces he's marrying you, so he's a super great father. You put on a cheerful face anyway, and when it's apparent the kids hate you, you consider sending them to boarding school where they might benefit from, say, structure and attention in schooling that they're not getting at home from their father / this rotating nannies. Then the super virginal younger au pair moves in, and suddenly your boyfriend decides he's totally into being father of the year again after his Austrian Rumspringa and dumps you. Oh. Damn. They really rewrote that whole plot, huh?
Yeah, well, but find the lie.
Justice for the Baroness.
Right.
I'm not saying Scar was right for killing his brother and running Pride Rock into the ground, but they call him Scar because he had a physical deformity. Before he was nicknamed Scar, his parents named him Taka, which means garbage. Oh, hi, let me introduce you to my sons, King and Garbage. How is that not setting your youngest up for failure?
How did you... What?
Wait,
Scar has a different name?
Is this canon?
Apparently.
Did they make... Yeah, right? They just make that up.
Scar's real name... Lion King. Let's see. Okay, well... Oh, wait. Okay. Scar's real name, Axari, is Scar's birth name in the canon material. In Lion King 6 New Adventures, Taka is Scar's birth name. So apparently Scar has 2 names. Both are canon. So that's cool. Taka means garbage or waste in Swahili. According to the
that's
internet.
Not very nice.
Yeah.
I do not know.
And these follow up straight to DVD, or not even DVD, probably straight to VHS movies. Why are we listening to them?
Yeah.
Exactly. What younger millennial wrote this nonsense?
Wait, hold on. Let's see. Now I'm going to look up Askari, Askary, Askari, name and meaning. It means soldier, which is not as bad as garbage.
Yeah, very different.
No.
Okay, moving on. Let's see. Thor. Oh, the first Thor. I agree. Kind of. Loki loses everything, finds out his whole life is a lie. Even his skin is a lie. The people who he was supposed to trust the most betrayed him about who he was and was brought up in a society where he thought his real race were disgusting monsters, blah, blah, blah. That's true. That's a good point. I mean, Loki had some trauma that he really needed to work through. Okay, this one's funny. The Grinch. Man, he just wanted to hang out with his dog on the mountain and he asked his stupid neighbors to shut the fuck up.
That's fair enough.
Valid.
Fair.
You know what? No music after 10 p.m. Come on.
There are rules. All right, I think that's where we'll stop. Oh, Happy Gilmore. Okay, we can finish with Happy Gilmore. Happy Gilmore Shooter was an established golfer and is loud, obnoxious. This loud, obnoxious guy who's finishing dead last is getting all the attention. So he buys his family's house at auction and gives it to him, but the offer is declined. And on top of that, the man can't get a decent breakfast. All right.
Okay.
They're making a second movie. A second Happy Gilmore.
course
Did you
they
know
are.
that?
Happy Gilmore? Really?
Of course they are.
We can have nothing nice.
But there's no Bob Barker to make a cameo, so really. Anyway, yeah, of course they are. They are, though. I saw the notification popped up within the last week or so that, yeah, that's a thing. Cool. Okay. Well, they can't all be winners, guys.
There were some laughs to be had.
Thanks. They were kind of pretty
Honestly,
laughs. That's okay, though.
It was worth it for me to learn that Dirty Dancing was filmed in Lake Lore.
Yeah.
So.
And Scar has a canonical name. That's not Scar.
Too.
Yeah,
Just the victim of bullying.
Yeah.
And being an asshole. Okay, so let's take a quick break. When we come back, we will do some feedback. Here we go. All right, we're back. Ready to get into some feedback. We'll start with the facey back. First thing is from Jamie Joe. And Jamie says, again, great weekend, but I feel it's important to mention that along with Chris and I, the Pander Bears also included Got and Flat. Amanda, way to go, you crazy cats. I thought I said that Got was on the team. Oh, well,
Didn't
sorry,
say
Got.
I was on the team.
Yeah, I forgot you were on the team.
Everybody knows I'm a winner.
I believe the name is Flamanda.
Flamanda, sorry.
Still trying to make that happen.
We'll get there. As Alex introduced her as Flamanda to my mom.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, how did your mom respond?
Oh, she thought it was funny. She thought it was very clever.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Because it is. Next up, we have a comment from Jessica who says, any of you ladies have any big plans for the summer? My plans, nothing. I'll live vicariously through you all. That's it.
Nice. We have a trip planned to the Great Smoky Mountains. I'm very excited about that.
Ooh, cool.
Ooh.
Speaking of bears.
Yeah. Truth.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I think we're going to go to Ohio the end of August.
Nice.
And
Nice.
I don't know, maybe do something for our birthdays. Both sets of parents have offered to watch our child for that week. So I suppose we should just plan something.
Yeah.
You should. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Are you doing anything for your anniversary?
Not as of yet, no.
Cool. I might take the kids to Marco Island for a couple of days because they are off and tracked out, and I need to find things to do. So you'll see. I don't really want to go, but they like to do it, and they like hanging out with their cousins. So
yeah, could be fun.
Yeah. So yeah. Oh well, Jess, I'm sorry that you're not doing anything, but hopefully you'll come up with some plans. And then Matt says, happy belated 355th episode. And then he links to Wikipedia. Agent 355 is a code name of a female spy during the American Revolution.
Nice.
Yeah. Real identity still unknown, but she was supposedly one of the first spies for the United States.
Wow.
Very cool.
That is cool. That's awesome. I just read a spy book I was telling the girls about. It's called The Spy Coast. It's similar to the Thursday Murder Club, but it's different in that it's retired CIA agents trying to solve a crime.
Yes,
it's American. Good. It's American. Yeah. It's not as lighthearted as the British.
No, we usually aren't.
No. But it's good. I read it in a whole day. I really liked it. Nice. Moving into the emails, we also have an email from Jessica. Does anybody want to read it? You want me to read it?
I can read it.
Okay, cool.
So Jessica says, writes in with women's health care. Hi, ladies. In a recent episode, Shandy mentioned getting her first mammogram. I also had my first one last week. Excellent.
Oh, congrats.
The Monday before my appointment, it was announced that women should now get them starting at 40. Story time. About 30 years ago, I remember my mom telling me about mammograms. Me too, Jessica, me too. At that time, it was recommended that women start getting them at 50. She told me about how they can hurt because of the boobs being squeezed by a vice-like device. Same. I still remember thinking, oh, by the time I need to get one, the technology will change and maybe they'll just take pics without the vice. How wrong was I? You know what? If this was like an annual exam where they smashed men's penises in a vice, you can bet the technology would have advanced.
Yeah. 100%.
Just continues, as I left the doctor's office, I couldn't help but think that in 30 years, the only thing that has changed is that women have been told to get them 10 years sooner.
Wow.
Later that night, I saw at least 2 commercials for some male enhancement pills. Oh, we are on the same wavelength, I think. Viagra was introduced in 1998. In the last 26 years since those pills were introduced, they have gotten cheaper and easier to get and without a prescription for generic brands. It's aggravating that we are half of the world's population, but our healthcare is years behind men's and constantly being challenged worldwide. For all those listeners, next voting cycle, please vote for those that want to advance women's healthcare and not make us part of the Handmaid's Tale. That is it. Glad everyone had a great time again at the Raleigh meetup. I hope next year I can join you, Jessica. Well, we certainly hope so too.
Yeah.
Amen.
Yeah, there's your travel plans.
Yes.
Yes. I mean, it's not this summer, but you know.
Right. Yeah.
Jessica, spitting truths, all points, valid points.
Yes, so true, and such a good reminder that this upcoming election is really important, and it's starting to make me very permanently nervous. And
it makes me permanently nervous. The amount of fighting that I see and people that are saying that they're not going to vote for various reasons or for one reason, and I get reasons.
I get it,
but
do you think the alternative is going to make the situation better?
It's not.
No, it does not make the situation better.
Right. Not voting for third parties or whatever. It's not going to make it better, and it's just going to make things worse. And what you're doing is you're condemning your friends, your LGBTQ friends, your female friends, your I don't know, all the other people that you fucked.
No.
Your friends that are immigrants to this country.
Exactly. So
your friends that aren't cis white men.
Your friends that aren't cis white
wealthy men.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. So I get it. It's frustrating. I get it. I totally do. But if something bad happens and then you're the person in 5 years going, well, you know what? It's Biden's fault we're here because if he had just done this, or this, then I could have voted for him. And it's like, no, motherfucker, you were warned. Because if you're active enough to be shouting why you're not going to vote for him, then you know what the risks are on the other end too. You just don't think you'll be affected.
Yeah. It's also just not how government works.
Right.
It's like presidents have a lot of power, but they don't have all the power. That's by design.
As of right now.
But that could also change. So
yeah. Yep. Okay. Jessica, spitting truths.
Yep.
Next up, we actually have a voicemail about the invisible string from Ro, and I'm super excited to hear what she has to say.
Yay.
Hi, Amanda, Shandy, and Colleen. It's Ro from New York. I have an invisible string story in 2 parts. It's kind of long, so feel free to just tell the story yourselves in a condensed version or skip it all together.
We wouldn't dream of doing such a thing.
I have a first cousin who is 25 years older than me, and he got married young, so his children are actually my age. One's a year older, one's a year younger, and one is 3 years younger. Anyway, when I was growing up, he lived in a house in Staten Island. I didn't live here yet, but they lived here, and I used to visit them all the time. I loved going to their house because they had a big backyard, and it took me a while to warm up to my cousins, but eventually I would start hanging out with them, and we would play different games since we were all around the same age. So they moved out of that house when we were all probably preteens, right around that age. Fast forward about 10 years, I'm hanging out with some of my high school / college friends, and one of my closest friends and I spent a lot of time together, and I had met some of her family members, including her cousin. So she invited me to go to her cousin's birthday party. So I get in the car with the family, and we're heading out to Staten Island to go to the cousin's birthday party. And as we're driving around, I say to my friend, I know this area, I know this neighborhood, I know this block. And as we're getting out of the car, I say, I know this house, that's my cousin's house. And my friend says, absolutely not. Ro, you always think you know people, you always think you know where you are. This is not your cousin's house. I don't know what you're talking about. Anyway, we go in the house and I say, this is my cousin's house. I know this is my cousin's house. So we go and we talk to her brother-in-law, who is her cousin's brother-in-law. Actually, it's my friend's cousin-in-law. And I say to him, is this your house? And he says, no, I rent this house. And I said, who do you rent it from? And then he names my cousin. So as a matter of fact, it was my cousin's house. And I've never let my friend live it down since then. Fast forward about 20 years later, I'm now living on Staten Island. I'm going to buy / lease my very first car. And I go into a Toyota dealership. It was a RAV4 that I ended up getting. And I meet the gentleman who is going to lease me the car. And he says to me, your name sounds familiar. And he looks at the name and he says, is this your cousin? And he names my cousin. And I said, that's my cousin. He said, oh, I bought a house from him at such and such an address. So
no way.
Car dealer actually bought the house that my cousin lived in when I was a kid, and that my friend's cousin ended up living in those middle years. Long story, but very stringy. Anyway, that's it. Take care. Talk to y'all soon. Bye. Oh, and by the way, I forgot to mention that my friend's cousin who was living in the house in Staten Island ended up being my roommate for 5 years a few years later. And today is actually her birthday. So the story about me going to her birthday party is quite coincidental because today is her birthday. Anyway, bye again. Love you guys.
Amazing.
Wow.
I love it. I love this story.
That house, man.
That's awesome.
In the lucky
house. I love that it was the anniversary of this first story happening.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
That's amazing.
Thank you,
cool.
Ro.
We wouldn't have been able to do that justice to paraphrase that. You had to hear that story from the source. That was great.
From Ro's dulcet tones.
Exactly.
Yes. Yeah, no, thank you so much. If anybody else has any invisible string stories, let us know. thebroadcasters3@gmail.com or give us a call, 331-276-2373. Or like Ro did, she recorded a voice memo and then emailed it to us. So
all good options.
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay. And then we have an email from Andy.
We do indeed. All right. This week in Andy's virginity. Hey, broads. Still no news on the dating or job front. I heard a rumor that my branch may be absorbed by another branch, but I'm taking it with a grain of salt. If it were the case, though, I'd probably hasten my plans to leave. This isn't worth having to double my commute time. Again, this could be nothing, but we're scraping the bottom of the barrel for updates. I heard we just passed the 10-year anniversary of the Yes All Women hashtag in response to that piece of shit going on a killing rampage because he never had sex at 22.
Wow.
So, wild. So it's also a decade of mainstream knowledge of incels, which has been talked about a lot here and on the show outside of my emails. I'd like to think we're doing better than we were 10 years ago. People seem to be much more knowledgeable on problematic stuff, but then again, who is running for the Republican nomination? Obviously, it's going to take a lot longer than a decade to fix things, and progress can be elusive. Ain't that the truth? At least for me, I didn't let my lack of luck turn me into a bitter misogynist. I think I've learned, and whenever I find someone I can be a better partner than I would have been had things happened sooner. And to end on a lighter note, a last minute happy masturbation month, everybody. Hashtag I'm with hers, Andy.
Awesome.
Man, that email really took us on a journey, huh?
Really
there
took
were
us on a
highs, there
journey.
were lows.
So, and maybe we've talked about this in months of May past, but isn't May also Mental Health Awareness Month? I kind of like that they're both in the same month. That's awesome.
You know,
yeah,
one interconnected, perhaps.
Yeah,
perhaps.
Totally. I cannot believe it's been 10 years since Yes All Women and that piece of shit going on a killing rampage. I love the idea though of like learning and evolving and all of that making you a better partner eventually when the time comes. That's pretty great.
I always appreciate how knowledgeable and reflective and good you are about that, Andy. Like truly, you're a true ally.
Indeed.
And I agree that doubling your commute, not worth it.
No, that sounds terrible.
Yeah. So I hope it either doesn't happen or that it leads you to a better job. And maybe if it does happen and it ultimately leads you to a better job, then it'll be like kind of, a good thing. Blessing in disguise, as they say.
Indeed.
Yeah.
But it's not fun to go through. So.
Well, it's always good to hear from you, Andy. It's never scraping the bottom of the barrel.
Yep. You always find a way to turn it around and give us something to think about.
Yes. And you're pretty good at coming up with hashtags of your own.
Yeah, truly.
Speaking of hashtags, let's finish up with the hashtag Matt's What She Said.
All right. We should be able to have it Tuesday, June 18th.
But I did send you a video so you can live vicariously through my backyard.
It's interesting how it comes up differently on the camera than in real life. That was pretty funny.
You could maybe sort of see a pinkish dot.
Shandy's doing it like the olds.
Yeah. I'll get it there too.
Can you send me a selfie when we're done?
Send me full body.
Maggie did send me that selfie, by the way, of her and Illyrio.
Nice.
Before the 10-year apart one or whatever it was. I just love the word tuber.
It's a great word. I stand by that.
My chair is creaky.
If there's enough interest, we could make it happen at 8:30.
And Shandy looks at me and she's like, have you been waiting for this long? For a long time? Oh gosh, it's a double liner. Oh boy, let me go back and start over. It's been a while since we've had one that's dipped to the second line. And Shandy
usually you have to pay double for that, Cotton.
Usually. Okay. And Shandy looks at me and she's like, have you been waiting for this for a long time? And I was like, oh my fucking God, yes.
I tried to do a full body, but as per me, it just didn't work out.
Sometimes we get random packages on Sunday.
I need everyone to stop and wrap this up right now.
So I went up there and I put it down right in front of the guy's face.
I'm going to close this out with big balls.
At least we showed him we were into it.
It was very satisfying in the moment.
We did the big balls, and that worked out very well.
Thank God Got joined me.
It did last a full hour.
We got 3 rounds in.
Thanks, everybody who came.
Hey, so speaking of, because I did close out with big balls last time, as far as I know, and I actually haven't checked the email, so let me check it real quick right now. Yeah, I think we've only gotten dinged on copyright for one of them, and that was the Big Pussy Energy remix that they took that down from YouTube because I uploaded the audio to it. Yeah. Yes, but as far as I know, the one where I play the entirety of Taylor Swift's Invisible Spring is still up there.
Yeah.
And then last week I purposely didn't put the big balls one on. Like maybe I should stay under the radar.
Yeah. I suppose we're small potatoes as far as T-Swizzle is concerned.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think she cares. She's getting paid. Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna stop putting copyrighted songs at the end of these for a little while. Just for a little while.
Fair enough.
Anyway, so quick housekeeping. Oh, actually, update with the panda bears is the little crowns that I had ordered originally for the thing came in, and I sent them to the Kellys and to Gott's. So now the 2 households that were part of the winning team. Sorry, Flamanda, we did not have one for you. I'll make you a flat trophy.
Print out the image.
It's fucking amazing.
And put it in a little popsicle stick.
A smaller popsicle stick. Yes. So toothpick. Yes. A toothpick.
Done. Oh my God. Anyway, so they got theirs and we've got the big one here. So it kind of worked out. And the poop one is supposed to be here tomorrow, the 29th. It's coming from Canada, so I've got like the customs updates. Like so that's been great. Anyway, yeah, so okay. Yeah, housekeeping though. We are doing our Real Weird Sisters crossover. We will be recording that in there goes the calendar. Hold on. Okay, well, now I've brought the calendar to me. We will be doing the Real Weird Sisters crossover on Tuesday, June 11th. So get your feedback in for that, please. And then our 8th birthday party will be on June 18th.
Yes.
So stay tuned for that. Actually, join us. Clear your schedules. You know, like we said, if there's enough interest, we could do it at 8:30. Okay. On that note, though, thanks for playing, everybody. Thank you for listening. Hope you all, if you had, were in the States and had 3-day weekend, I hope you guys did fun things too. And yeah. All right. Thanks to the patrons, especially the ones that contribute at a certain level. And that'd be Ed Cartwright, Maggie the Magnificent, Joanne with the Plan, and Ed the Creepy Poopy Head Mailman. Thanks, guys. If you want to become a patron, patreon.com/Jay and Jack. And yeah, if you have any feedback, again, thebroadcasters3@gmail.com or give us a call 331-276-2373. I don't know why I'm struggling through this thing that I have said every single week for 8 years now, but here we are. Yeah. All right. Bye, guys. Let's go. I'm tired. I'm malfunctioning right now, so it's time. All right. On that note, all right. Anybody have anything else? I feel like I'm flailing at this outro here.
You're doing great. We're doing great.
Justice for the Grinch. The Baroness was right. All right. Yeah. Anybody have any last words?
No.
All
See you in
right.
June.
See you in June. On that note, my name is Colleen.
My name is Amanda.
And I'm Shandy.
Peace out, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.